Welcome, lovely Aquarius, to your general timeless reading. I'll begin your reading with crystal and turban seashell scrying, symbolic cards, and I also have tarot and oracle for you at the end as well. So let's go ahead and roll, lovely Aquarius, and see what Spirit has in store. Holy Spirit, Holy Divine, all who are with me in the highest divine realms of love and truth, I ask that you please give me clear understanding, clear communication, and interpretation skills to bring forth the most loving, truthful information that Aquarius needs to know most. Please, Spirit, thank you. Here, thank you. Who is Aquarius? Okay. Wow. Okay. I'm getting three different visions here. Hold on just a minute, Aquarius. Something's going on here. I'm seeing a masculine and a feminine face to face talking. At first, the feminine energy, which is you, this is what you're being represented as in this part of the reading, okay? You have a full head of hair, which is telling me you have divine protection and you're being divinely guided within this situation. Now, if this hasn't happened yet, okay, that's perfectly okay. This is something that may be coming in the very near future, depending on where you are on your timeline, okay? Now, at first, you're coming through as this feminine with your eyes wide open. Your mouth is in like a donut shape, which is my symbol for a shock factor, okay? So it's like you have the shock look on your face. There's a masculine, doesn't have to be male in body, right? That is like face to face with you. And it's like I'm seeing an argument. I'm seeing you attempting to plead your case or defend yourself on a situation. Now, this does not mean it has to be an intimate partnership. Okay. This can be anyone, anything. The masculine can represent a job, school, all kinds of stuff. So just take it how it resonates. But there's something here where you're going to have to feel like you're going to need to defend yourself. And I'm also, I was seeing you were coming through as a human sized rabbit, and it was the breed of rabbit where the ears should be straight up. However, it looked as if you had been scolded, like, a scolded puppy dog. They put their tail, between their legs and their ears drop. It was something kind of like that. And you were holding on to a stuffed animal. And stuffed animal is a symbolic meaning of security. So that could be financial security, that could be a roof over your head, it could be a vehicle, it could be, gas money to get to work, food, water, your basic needs. So there's something here about security. Now, you were coming through as a white rabbit, which is telling me that you are innocent in this situation. Okay. And so you've been scolded over something. You were looking up at the stars. So it's kind of like a feeling of saying, like, I need to pray. I need assistance, God, divine. I need someone to hear me. I need help. But something that has to do with your security. It's almost like being falsely accused of something, or something that, sometimes Aquarius things happen that's out of our control, but it's really easy sometimes for other people to accuse us of things. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're watching this during the retrograde right now, then of course, absolutely so. But even if you're not watching this during the retrograde, this is still true for you, okay? I am seeing and feeling there's some kind of being wrongfully accused, or some kind of heart hurt, something that you're innocent in, or something that was out of your control, and then being accused of something somehow. Okay. Or just someone, it could just be something, someone makes a rude comment or something, but it's really, it kind of like pierces your heart, something like that. Okay. So there was, what else was the, oh yeah, the third one. You were coming through as the feminine again, but this time you had all of your hair up on top of your head, in a bun, and this bun was huge. So that's representative, because the bun was over the crown chakra, that you are going to be in direct alignment with God, the Holy Divine, in this situation. And it's going to be very important for you to allow God, allow the divine to guide you through this situation, not to just, pop off and just say, stuff in the heat of the moment. Make sure that you pay attention to your reactions and your actions. Do as divinely guided, okay? And also, in this third vision, you were holding a magnifying glass up to your left eye. So it's telling me there's something that you need to look into more, or you need to investigate more. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and go to the symbolic cards and see what Spirit has for you, Aquarius. Symbolic cards. Holy Spirit, Holy Divine, please show me top two cards for Aquarius. Top two cards, please, for Aquarius. Thank you. Top two cards for Aquarius. Thank you. Whoa, hold on just a second. I am losing cards. Okay. I got them. Okay, I just heard one more time. So is this it? That's it. Okay, we have positive attitude. Very nice. And we have road to improvement. Wonderful. Okay. So I'm getting two different things here. So for some of you, this positive attitude, now this is going to be for both sections, okay? Either way. But the positive attitude, it doesn't hurt anything, right? You need to stay as positive and as focused on God and the divine as you possibly can. Be grateful, be appreciative for anything and everything you can think of in this situation. And guys, I know it's hard. I know it is. It is not the easiest thing. If you've got to scream and cry first, if you've got to, jump up and down and act silly, for an hour or so, as long as you're not hurting yourself or hurting anyone else, right? Do what you need to do to get it out. But then it's time to refocus. Okay, change the attitude. Think of how can you turn this into a positive experience the best way that you can. Okay, that may be where I was seeing you defending yourself with this person, having some kind of communication, right? But either way, no matter what, Spirit's wanting you to try to look at the positive side of things. For some of you, the positive side could be that, hey, you know what? This needed to happen. So I could see something for what it is. And that way I know what to do, right? Okay, now we have road to improvement. Now, this is the part that I'm going to section you guys off a little bit, okay? So for some of you guys, first of all, we have the straight road, right? That's your spiritual path. There's no curves or anything. That would be challenges, okay? But this is straight. So it's like Spirit's saying that if you keep a positive mindset, okay, release, cleanse your spirit body, cleanse your spiritual cords, do everything you can spiritually to cleanse yourself of any type of negative energy, to be in a more positive, happy energy. Okay. if there's something funny you can watch on YouTube or, watch somewhere, things that make you laugh, things that make you happy, go out in nature and ground, all that kind of stuff. Because you see here also, the water is calm, it's not raging. Okay. And you do have just a tad bit of a cloud here, which is representing a challenge. However, it's not a gray cloud. So because it's white, this is telling me, first of all, it's not very big. So the challenge will go by pretty quick. Okay. But also, because it's white, it is something that the divine is actually either going to help you get through and find that peace, serene, calm, or it's something that you have in your soul contract that you have agreed to go through. Okay, as hard as that may be to hear for somebody, but we do make contracts like that. Now, this road to improvement. So for some of you, this could literally be like, you know what? Okay, this situation is no longer good for me, and I see things for how it is, and it's time for me to move forward so I can be my happiest self. Okay. For others of you, it could be, okay, I'm going to stay in this situation if at all possible. I'm going to try to my best to communicate. I'm going to stay in alignment with God, the Holy Divine. Be careful of my actions and reactions. And if it's something that that I can save, remember this is not going to last long. Okay. So if this is something that you think you can save, or you want to save a relationship, a friendship, a job, something like that, then the Spirit's telling you, because look, you've got a lot of clouds on this one, got a lot of challenges. Okay. If you go down that path, you're going to have to be ready to take on the challenges. Okay. And it's like one of these things, the road continues to go. It looks like it's getting smaller, but that's because it's quite a distance, right? So it's like for quite some time, if you stay in this situation, this is most likely what you're going to be facing. Is you're going, you might have a long period here going straight down your path once you get this kink worked out. But then it's like as soon as you get down the road a ways, a mile or so, then all of a sudden you've got this huge, an even bigger challenge than the one before. It's like they keep multiplying and growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger, right? So that's something you're going to have to look at here. All right, let's go ahead and go to the tarot and the Oracle Spirit. Which deck, please, would you like for Aquarius? Which deck? This one? Thank you. Which deck? Thank you. Okay, we have Two of Wands. Yep. That's the contemplation and getting ready to take action. That's how I read that card intuitively, especially in this situation. It's like thinking about your path, which is what we've already talked about here, right? But thinking about your path, which direction do you want to go down? And then starting to step off into that or onto that path. Okay. So that's going to be a decision that you're going to have to assess, because remember, I saw you holding a magnifying glass to your eye. You're going to have to look deeper into the situation. So I feel like at this point, that Spirit's saying you're going to have to look deeper to see, is this something worth my energy? Is this something worth my time? Is this something worth my money? Whatever the case is. But definitely investigation a little deeper is going to be required here. And each of you have your own different situation that you're going to be going through if you're not already in that energy. So Spirit's just wanting you to make sure that, do what's best for you, for your highest good. and the highest good of all. Spirit, what else would you like? Oh, okay. Spirit said to switch the decks. Okay. This one? Okay. What would you like to tell Aquarius, please? What does Aquarius need to know? Yeah, for some of you, I feel like because of the expressions that I was seeing, there's like twice you were coming through with shock. So I really feel like, okay, reverse or upright? Reverse. And what do we have? 6 of Wands, victory, but in the reverse. Okay. So, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Give me more about this 6 of Wands. What's going on here? What's going on with this 6 of Wands in reverse? To me, that's saying something failing. Okay. It could be failing a test, like a literal test at school. It could be failing a spiritual test. There's some kind of test here, some kind of failing. Reverse or upright? Upright. What do we have? The World. Okay. So this is clarifying the 6 of Wands in reverse. Yeah, this is some kind of completion here. Something's over. End of the cycle. It's done. There's no victory within this. Okay. There's none. Spirit, give me more. I'll tell you what. Let me go to this deck. I'm feeling this deck right here. Spirit, give me clarification on this 6 of Wands in the World card, please. 6 of Wands in reverse and the World card in the upright. Clarification, please. What does Aquarius need to know? Thank you. And what do we have? Reverse or upright? Upright. And we have Queen of Pentacles. This is all about, yeah, you need to love yourself, okay? And not in an egotistical manner, but you need to do what's best for you, okay? As in making sure that you're taking care of yourself, making sure that you're being kind and loving and gentle to yourself, your body, okay? Making sure that you stay grounded, because the Queen of Pentacles is a part of grounding and being present, doing things to where, like doing crafts or doing some kind of project that keeps your mind focused to where you are focused strictly on that project and find little details. So this is also a Capricorn card, but I'm not feeling that it's specifically talking about that this could be a Capricorn, but it could be for a few of you, okay? Now, what I would like to say about this is Aquarius, when I've gone through things like this, what I usually try to do is try to have some kind of something that I can paint that has very tiny details to where I have to really focus with a very fine tip to not allow the paint to bleed, right? And when I do these things, it really keeps me focused so much that my mind is just not feeling like it's turning into mush, worrying and, all this stuff about something that's not in my control. Okay. And of course, that's after I do the cleansing, I take action towards healing. But part of healing for me is meditation, grounding, releasing, cleansing, all that combined. All right. Spirit, give me more, please. Okay, all of these? Yes. Okay, what do we have? Okay, we have the High Priestess. So definitely use your intuition in this situation. Some of you may have been getting some kind of downloads or precognitive dreams, precognitive information coming through that letting you know that this was something, some kind of tower moment was getting ready to happen. And if not, some of you may have been able to feel that the energy may have been off a little bit. Again, we aren't experiencing the retrograde at this time. We have 4 coins. There's your security that I saw. Okay. And what is the other card? Reverse or upright? Upright. And we have King of Wands. Okay. So, King of Wands, this is a very bold card. Okay. It's a card of really taking effort, putting effort into being that supervisor, that leader, that type of energy, a real go getter. Okay. So, because the 3 of these came out together, the intuition with the High Priestess, the 4 of Coins, and the King of Wands, I feel like Spirit is saying here that you're going to be led, you're going to be shown somehow intuitively of something better. Okay, there's going to be something better. But it has to be once you realize this situation here, Aquarius, is over. Okay. And you, after you have, because I feel like, because I was seeing it, some of you will try to make amends, things like that. But it's like Spirit saying, once you see clearly, and you will, because your eyes were fully open in every vision, you're going to see the truth about a matter. And at that point, that's when you're going to say, you know what? Okay, it's time for me to focus on my stability, on making a sturdy, strong foundation, and go after it. Okay, really get down to business and grind. That's what I'm getting here, Aquarius. Okay, anything else about this situation from the cards? Anything else from the cards? Anything else? Okay, so Spirit, please show me the outcome. Show me the complete outcome for Aquarius. Once Aquarius realizes this is completed, Aquarius starts the grind. Show me what is the outcome, please. What does Aquarius need to know? Thank you. Okay, reverse or upright? Upright. What do we have? Is that 10? Yeah, 10 of Cups. Check it out. You have a happy family, okay? So it's like Spirit saying, there's a situation here that no matter how hard you try, you're going to end up, if you keep continually trying, you're going to end up right here. Challenge after challenge after challenge, and they're going to keep growing bigger every time until it can turn toxic. Okay. Of course, this is your choice. Again, this is something you're going to need to investigate deeper so that you can see the full meaning, both sides, plus Spirit side of things. Okay. And go to God and the divine and ask to be shown your path. What do you do in this situation? Because honestly, I don't like telling people, you need to walk away, because again, this wasn't coming in as toxic. However, it can end that way. So all I can tell you is I really hope that anyone going through a situation like this, that you allow Spirit to guide you. Okay, don't trust what I say or any other readers. Okay, if you're facing this situation, when your eyes become clear of what's happening, and you come to the realization that, hey, you know what? This was out of my control. There's nothing more that is positive for me here. Remember, positive attitude. There's nothing more here for me that's positive. Um, Everything has, we can find positive things in every situation, yes, and we need to. But what I'm talking about here is a little different. When what I'm trying to say is when you're continually the one that's either being, you feel like you're being targeted, or you feel like you don't belong, you feel like an outcast, things like that, and you know for a fact it's not because it's paranoia or something like that. It's just you're seeing something clearly, you're feeling someone's energy, they're projecting towards you, then that's when you basically are going to find your happiness, okay? Because this cycle will close. It's going to come to an end, okay? All right, I'm going to leave this here for you. I do absolutely wish you the best with this, Aquarius. I know it's not easy, especially, if it's family or close loved ones, close friends, but hang in there, okay? And just remember, guys, find your miracle in everything, because if we look hard enough, we will find one. Much love.